And when we know better, we do better. So now, as we go through this session, you're becoming more conscious of the choices you make are building your world. Like there is an exact link. There is a 1 + 1 = 2. You make this choice, you get this consequence, period. Okay. So when we know that that's how it works, we get a lot more intentional about our choices. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive just a little bit deeper into the gift of world building. Um, like all the gifts that we talk about in this series, we're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about number one, what's it for? The gift of world building. What's that for? Number two, how to feel it within yourself. So we're going to get personal and start looking inward at your own personal relationship with your world building gift. And then number three, we're going to talk about how to develop it more on purpose. If you decide that this is something that you absolutely want to be a master of building your world on purpose so that you enjoy every freaking consequence that you ever get to live. Consequences are freaking awesome once you really understand that, like, you're choosing your way into every consequence. So, by golly, just choose the thing that has the consequence that you want. And then there's your ear of corn and you get to eat it and it's delicious. Um, so when we think about like making your life how you want it to be, that's world building, building your world. You're making your life how you want it to be on purpose because that option is available to everyone. Okay. And let me make a note. I don't want to forget to talk about this later. Okay. So let's talk about the first piece of what is it for, this gift of world building? Why would I need to get that out of my toolbox and put it to work? Well, because what it's for is your life satisfaction, being satisfied with your life. That's what it's for. World building is making your life how you want it to be so that you can be satisfied in your life. Like, for example, if you want to feel satisfied after your meal, like let's say it's dinner time and every evening we have dinner and this is what we do. Humans all over the planet, they do this every day. And you want to have a satisfying meal. What are you going to choose to eat? Are you going to pick out something that you really enjoy? Or are you going to pick out something that you freaking hate and force yourself to eat it? Which one of these things is more satisfying? Probably eating the food that you enjoy. Okay. Or that has benefits that you value or whatever, like somebody told me the other day, they're like, I don't like kale, but I appreciate kale. Okay. Because kale has a lot of benefits. And so you may not enjoy eating the kale, but you are proud of yourself and like feeling nourished by the choice that you made, So there's lots of ways to be satisfied with your choices. Um, but yeah, like feeling satisfied, feeling full, feeling content in your life. That's what world building is for. So for me, this is one that is important for me to be a master of because when I am richly satisfied, deeply satisfied in my world, that's magnetic. That's magnetic for others, other people, other cooperative components, other food or music or whatever that would satisfy me being magnetized to me. I am a magnet for satisfaction. The more I build satisfaction into my world, the stronger that signal becomes, and the more things come that are like that. And so then just new songs present themselves and new recipes present themselves and new friends present themselves. And it just keeps unfolding more satisfied, more satisfied, more satisfied, more satisfied. I love my life. That is magnetic. And you're attracting other people then who love their life or who want to love their life, who are appreciative and admiring of what you got going on. And they're like, can you teach me? Like, what did you do? How did you get like this? Like I said, I've made a whole business out of building my world to be really good for me. And then people show up and they're like, hey, can we talk about that? Because I think I want my world to be really good for me. And I'm like, come on over, let's talk about it. Okay. Um, and so you though, like you as a person get to decide, like, is this something that you really want to spend time and master? Or is this something that's like, oh yeah, that's really cool, but like right now, not really clicking as like my top priority? Like, no worries. Okay. Like, you cannot get this journey wrong. And chances are that if there's a gift that feels really important to you to practice it because it's calling you and it's probably going to make your world better. Like world building is more like this overarching gift that then underneath it is like you practicing lots of different things. Okay. And again, we're going to get more into this when we talk about how to develop it. But next, let's dive into feeling this within yourself. Okay. And remember, we talked about like the parts of your life that are really working for you. And we can study those and like kind of reverse engineer them. If you're familiar with that term, we can look at the finished product and we can take it apart to see how it was made. Um, we can study the parts that are working and we can learn from that in order to implement those learnings and make our choices in a similar way in the other areas of our life where we may not be having as much satisfaction. Okay, so I've got four very broad categories. Okay, and let's go through them one at a time. And let's ask the question, how satisfying is that area of your life? Okay. And there's no right or wrong answer. And you can sit quietly with your eyes closed and just kind of feel inside yourself as I mention each category, like what comes up, right? We're just gathering the data. Or you can get in your journal and you can write about it. You can use a scale like 0 to 100. So you can like rate how satisfied are you in this area. The world is your oyster. You can do whatever you want. Okay. Um, how satisfying is your life in the area of